It's not working.
Big words that end in shun show us what the Lord has done. Through Jesus, his own son. Big words that end in shun. Revelation, God shows himself to us. Substitution, Jesus takes our place. Salvation, sinners saved from hell. Big words that end in shun. Big words that end in shun.
Did you like that? It's good. Right now, Martha's going to come and read to us from the Bible. See if she's got one of those shun words in her reading.
Today's reading is John 3, verse 16 to 18. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned. Whoever does not believe in him stands condemned already, because they have not believed in the name of God's one and only Son. This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Right, well, we're going to hear one of those words, shun words now.
You might notice I actually say something slightly different, just to make sure that the teachers don't complain. Words that end in the sound of. Shun. As I was writing this, I thought I've got to do this, otherwise Linda's going to tell me off. For those of you who don't know, Linda actually taught all my children. One of them is here, so you better behave. So, words that end in the sound of shun. And I prepared this first slide, but Linda's already given the game away. But Martin, last week, did, what was it called? What's that word? Can you remember? And it's quite a long word, isn't it? A big word that ends in shun, the sound of shun. Today, you may have guessed, we're going to do salvation, which is only 9 letters long, so it's smaller than last time, so we're okay. Salvation. Anyone knows what that means? Do you know what that means? It's a huge word. It's too long, isn't it? It means being saved from danger or from harm. But when we talk about it in relation to, when we think about it as being part of the Bible, slightly different. Being rescued by Jesus from sin and being given eternal life. Wow. So, who are you going to call? Maybe we shouldn't do that in church, but who are these people? Who's this? Policeman, yep. And who's this? Fire lady. Oh, I was going to see if you're going to say fireman, catch you out on that one. Anyone know who these people are? Come on, you can shout out. Remember, you've got special dispensation from Mountain Rescue. Anyone been called out? Anyone had to call out Mountain Rescue? That's good. Can I have that drink, Don? Sorry. This is my helper. Now, anyone been down to Cornwall in the last couple of years? No? Anyone been to a beach in Devon? Yeah, you see them, don't you? The RNLI lifeguards. They're always young and fit and incredibly tanned. But they'll get grey hair eventually. What about these people here? You've got a picture in your service sheet of who they are. Lifeboat people. And then this person you'll know, well, you won't know him personally because you're going to see his back, but where are we? In the swimming pool, you know, the lifeguard. What do all these people do for us? Help us, and they could come and save you. They could come and rescue you, couldn't they, if you get into trouble? I hope you've never had to use any of these people. I don't know whether you have. But they're always there, aren't they, to give you a big help when you need it. And some of them will risk their lives to rescue you. Imagine that. Well, there's one big difference. We talked about Jesus. One big difference between all of those people and Jesus. The rescue people behind the picture of the cross, they might be in danger when they come to rescue you. They might be terrible danger. But when Jesus came to rescue us, he knew that he was going to die to do it. Imagine that. So what does all that mean in salvation? So let me help you. Because I'm a drummer, I like to do things fairly simply. So we're going to split it into 3 simple little things. God gives, God saves, and God does. 3 verses as well. And we're going to start with God gives. I've got some friends to help me with this bit.
John 3:16. For God so loved the world, the whole world, everyone, anyone, that a lot of people,
that he gave his one and only Son,
his only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life.
I think we should all say that together. Wow! Isn't that amazing? For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him, and that was everyone. Everyone in this church. Not just all of you sitting here in the front, but all those people at the back who aren't down here and joining the front here. Eternal life. Wow. Imagine that. Now, sorry, you're probably picking me up on the other mic now, aren't you? I can't get the things done. When something is damaged, we try to fix it. We might even try to recycle it now. But if it's really broken, very sadly, we have to throw things away. And God looks down on our world that he created, that he loves. And he thinks, this isn't right. It's not going right. People aren't doing what I've told them to do. They're being naughty. They're being rude. They're being horrible to other people. What am I going to do? Shall I throw the world away or shall I fix it? Fix it. Absolutely. They're great when it's so nice to have the children back down here at the front telling you how to do your job. It's brilliant. No, you tell me, that's great. He decides not to destroy it. He's going to fix it, and he sends his one and only Son, Jesus. Now, imagine you're swimming out at sea. If you're swimming out in that sea, you're probably a bit crazy, but there you are. You're going to get into difficulties, and you're going to need rescuing. And the lifeguards have gone out to rescue that person. They've given us the lifeguards, the way that God has given his Son, Jesus. Now then, verse 17, God saves. So we've done God gives. God gives us Jesus. God saves. Everyone thinks that verse 16 is very important, and you'll see that it's everywhere. Everyone talks about John 3:16, but I really like John 3:17, and I hope by the time we've done this little bit, you'll go, Graham, you're right. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world. Remember we said he's coming to fix it? To save the world through him, which is Jesus. It's clear that he's not thrown away the world. He's not going to get rid of it. He's going to save us. But how is he going to do it? Here's that word. What's that word say? Can you read it? Bit tricky because it's got a big cross in the middle of it. Looks like a T, doesn't it? Salvation. And that's the cross. The cross of Jesus. It means that through him. And why is this verse really special? Because, but to save the world through him. Those two words at the end, through him, through Jesus. That's your rescuer. So going back to the sea, if you're struggling to swim, especially in Cornwall, you sometimes get a current that can pull you out to sea. You need to be rescued. And how about that? If that was what you saw a lifeguard on a surfboard coming towards you with his hand out to grab you. It's the only way you can survive is to grab that hand. So, God does, our final heading. So God gives, and God will save because of Jesus. He gives us Jesus. He'll save us through Jesus. And what does God do? Well, whoever believes in him is not, this is very long words in this one. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe stands condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of God's one and only Son. That's quite a long verse, isn't it, for a few small people? Wow. Whoever believes in him is not condemned. Remember I said right at the very beginning the world was damaged and we was going to fix it. And how was he going to fix it? Who was he going to bring in to fix it for us? Jesus. Because that's us on this side here. Being naughty, being rude, not being nice. But because of the cross of Jesus, we can walk across and we can be with God and have forgiveness and eternal life. If you really believe in Jesus and that you want to be with him, he will save you. He will. He'll put out his hand and he will grab hold of you and he won't let go. Just like you remember when that surfer was coming to rescue you out of the sea, he'd grab hold of your hand and he would never let you go. And that's what Jesus does. Salvation. What's this word about, Graham? God gives. Who does he give? His only Son, Jesus. God saves through knowing Jesus. And God does by giving us salvation. Salvation means to be, you remember? You remember that word? Should we see if some of the people at the back were actually paying attention? Yeah. So God gives by giving us, they beat you to it, salvation, which is being rescued, being saved. That's a lot of people. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And can you see all these people here? Jesus is just not for Riseley Church here, just for us. It would be lovely if it was, but it's for everybody in the village, everybody in Bedfordshire, everybody in the whole world could all have this magic word, salvation. It's a big word, I know. That can all be rescued, be saved. And all you've got to do is follow. Follow Jesus. Do you remember last time Martin talked about how we could follow Jesus? Can you remember what we could do? Well, you're doing it today, aren't you, by coming to church? You're being here at church. Jesus is being revealed to us. Revelation, remember that word? Well, today you're going to be rescued. And you're learning even more about Jesus today, which is really good. What do you think? Should we say that again? Because I think that's an amazing thing, isn't it, to be rescued? You ready? Wow. Yeah. Salvation, to be rescued. Wow. Sorry, Linda. Read those words.
Wow. I hope there's some really good things you've remembered. Are you going to be able to remember them?